All right, everybody, welcome to... We got a studio light just pop on for some... I don't know what it's doing, but...
That's weird.
Welcome, everyone, to the ghostly edition of Sports Talk, week number 4, and we have a lot to talk about. By the way, I am still, might I point out, your Sports Talk champion, people. And this guy over here might be winning the monthly championship, but he probably won't be, so...
Probably not. I have 2 wins. Him and Lola have 1. This week there will be 3 games on the line. 3. We figured 3 games because that would probably have the least amount of chances of a 3-way tie.
I agree.
If there is a 3-way tie, then...
Seriously, freaking me out.
Not sure what will happen there. But anyway...
That's what's freaking me out, by the way.
Don't pay attention to it.
Okay. All right, here we go. This is needs to be talked about right now. And it has me kind of embarrassed for the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know who, everyone assuming by now has watched, that's a football fan anyway, knows about what happened last night in the NFL with the Seahawks and Packers game. I personally think it's a disgrace to the NFL. It's a disgrace to the league. And these officials are just making this a joke. I mean, they literally, for real, robbed the Packers of a win.
And what I don't like about it is the simple fact that the actual officials, the ones who are not partaking in any games right now until their contracts are worked out, what I don't like about it is they obviously see this game and it's not changing their minds. I think, you know, you're not one of the players. You don't need $35 million.
Roger Goodell came out today and said the Seahawks win stands. Are you
you know, and I don't really feel it was right. I feel like if we had real officials in there, the push from Tate.
First of all, Golden Tate gave, I don't know who it was, offensive pass interference. So that right there should have been called.
That right there, if that was called, there wouldn't have even needed to be a review.
Absolutely.
The game would have been over.
Right.
And that's what should have happened. And I feel like if we had real officials in there, that call would have been made.
Yeah,
because there is no way you don't see someone get pushed to the ground like that. Yeah. How do you not notice that? Now, the only thing I can think of is that either these replacement officials are incredibly, wildly incompetent, or it was a homer call and they wanted the Seahawks to win. In which case...
Honestly, I don't even know if it's any of that. I think there's 60,000 fans in the stadium that they're at, or whatever, however many fans it is. And I honestly feel like he was just too scared to make a call the other way. He gets stuff thrown at him. They're used to coaching college. They're not used to the hardcore fans like it's in Seattle and Dallas and the Eagles and the Giants. I mean, there's fans out there that could do anything. And
now, from NFL rules standpoint, I do know the reason why the call was made the way it was. In the review, I know a lot of people that I've talked to in the review are saying that there is no chance that they didn't see the push in the review. Why didn't they call it?
Yeah.
Well, the reason is because if the push wasn't called prior to the play being reviewed, it cannot be brought up in review, which is a dumb rule to begin with. If a penalty is seen while reviewing a play, it should be taken into consideration. But as far as the rules go now, that's not allowed. Number 2, what was said by the official before the review took place also was that both players, when on the ground, when fallen to the ground, had control over the ball. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Jennings had control when it was in the air.
Here's what happened. Here's the way I saw it, okay? Let me explain this. Here's what happened. Wilson chucks it up, and Wilson's a good quarterback, but he's not.
It's irrelevant.
Right, absolutely. And Jennings gets the ball, maintains control, and as he's now down at this point, then Golden Tate grabs the ball with one hand, and then when Golden Tate finally hits the ground, he has 2 hands on the ball. That is not maintaining control, and that's not both people having possession at the same time. It's not. And it's an interception any way you look at it.
Here's the rule for that. Until the players are completely down on the ground and the ball...
Oh, that's stupid.
Until the players are completely down on the ground, whatever happens in the air is irrelevant. So the fact that Jennings caught it in the air does not mean he had possession of the ball. Possession does not take place until both feet of the player are on the ground.
Well, then that's a stupid rule.
It is a dumb rule, but I'm just saying
that's an interception any way you look at it.
That's the rule. For example, if in the middle of the field, if 2 players are going after the ball, and the defensive player catches the ball in the air, but while in the air, the other player knocks it out and catches it and comes down with it, that player has the ball,
Look,
regardless of whether the defensive player had it or not.
Now, if that ever happened to me, I was playing the other way on defense. Think about it.
You could argue till you blue in the face, it's not going to get overturned because that's the rule. Also, Rule 8, Section 1, Article 3, Item 5, yeah, that's how they do this stuff, and it's really weird. Anyway, states that while in the end zone, and this only pertains to in the end zone, when two players, one of each team, simultaneously have control over the ball, it goes to the offensive player.
It's just stupid.
So, that rule, the rule before, which I don't actually remember the article and all that stuff for that one, I only memorized the last half, but that rule and the rule that anything that happens in the air doesn't count, those are the two rules that the NFL and the referees are given for why the play was called the way it was. The NFL actually stated on NFL.com that they agree with the referee's call because of the rules that I just explained to you. That is the reason why the NFL won't overturn. And Goodell said himself that even though he would like to, he himself cannot and does not have the power to overturn the decision.
And can I just say this? I think for Mike McCarthy to go, I don't know if you saw that press conference, but he said, all right, well, I'm not crossing that line. Don't cross it. I'm not crossing it. We're not talking about the officials. Let's go to the game. I thought that's fine and all, Mr. Tough Guy. But then you bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that at the beginning of the press conference, don't bring it up. It kind of was like, well, you just said you weren't going to talk about it, but now you're talking about it.
A little hypocritical.
And Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we talked about this before the show, and he gets very cocky sometimes.
Which I don't like.
Absolutely. But, I mean, did you see his press conference afterwards, after what he said?
No, I don't watch the press
He said, he said, it was terrible. I mean, did you see that game? It was terrible.
First of all,
I mean,
regardless
so
of the call,
get fined, but
regardless of the call, they shouldn't have won to begin with.
Packers did play bad.
They played bad. They shouldn't have won.
However, look, if I was a Packers fan, I would be furious today.
I would be mad
feel
too.
for them because you gotta give me that rob.
I would be mad too, but again, if they would have played Packer football, that touchdown wouldn't have mattered anyway. They should have been ahead by
Packer
a few.
football isn't happening this year, I don't think.
But what I'm trying to say is if they played real Packer football,
Well, yes,
they would have been
absolutely.
ahead by a couple of touchdowns. That wouldn't have mattered. But let's get on to the next topic today. Next topic is Philadelphia.
No, I know all this stuff that happened last night makes us forget about what happened in the Eagles game.
What's going on?
Look, I'm gonna rant right here. Okay,
Go ahead.
Andy Reid comes out, throw. Why are you coming out throwing the ball? And then why, in the second half of the game, you're running it? It's like we're running out the clock, but it's 24-3 at this point. Why are you doing that?
I have no idea why. I personally cannot understand why any coach would think that when you're down by so much, it would be a smart idea to run the football. LaShawn McCoy is a great running back, but he alone cannot score you 24 points.
And I don't know if you saw this, another thing. Right before the half was over, it was 17-0. And the Eagles had the ball at the 1 yard line because Deshaun Jackson, instead of just diving in the end zone, has to think he can be whatever and just go around all these players and then get to the end zone. Well, it didn't happen. He got caught, and he was at the 1 yard line. So at that point, you're thinking, okay, well, instead of 77, I guess it's going to be 73. Michael Vick steps back, and instead of just heaving it out away, he stands there for a good, I don't know, what was it, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and then gets hit, ball comes out, they take it back for a touchdown. It's now 24-0 at the half. And they're probably going in the locker room thinking, well,
They scored 7. Did they not?
yeah, the other team scored 7.
No. What was the final score of the game?
The final score was 24-6.
6.
27-6, actually.
Well, they scored 6. Anyway, now, I had an argument with a friend of mine earlier, and
About what?
a couple days ago, about what I'm about to mention. And I'm not really going to bring him up, but
Who are you bringing up?
Look, I'm not gonna bring up my friend as well. I'm not gonna because
what are we?
First of all, his argument was an embarrassment.
No, I want to hear it.
No, okay. Well,
I really.
First of all, a lot of fans are behind him on this, but I just don't agree. He brought up the fact that Foles needs to go in, and Foles needs to play. His argument was
a rookie out there.
His argument was that Vic's not getting it done. Vic's not doing this. Vic's not doing that.
Right.
It is right, but you have to also
throw in a rookie. You don't throw in a rookie,
especially a rookie who was not an outstanding player in college. He doesn't have record-setting numbers. He wasn't a first-round draft pick. He's not.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is he's not. He's no Andrew Luck. He's no RG3.
I don't know how much you can look into that though.
But there's no. What I'm trying to say is he's no Andrew Luck. He's no RG3. He's not.
RG3 is so good. He's good.
I'm just saying he's not. He's no Cam Newton. He's not somebody who can come out of college and run professional.
All these guys you just mentioned had bad games the last couple games. So, but I get what you're saying.
Okay, you're looking at one game. Let's look at the big picture.
I get. Well, the big picture is RG3 is 1 and 2. All right, everybody keeps praising RG3. He's 1 and 2.
The big picture is the Redskins are 1 and 2. This is the argument I had with my friend, whose name will not be mentioned. You cannot blame a quarterback.
Okay, because you have a dillweed as a friend doesn't mean that he has good points in football because he doesn't even know what he's talking about. If he's going to say, put Foles in, a rookie, why not bring Donovan McNabb back at this time? Because that's where I'm at. Me personally, I think we should bring McNabb back. McNabb would have won that game for us.
This is exactly what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is,
people are just...
Very rarely is it solely the quarterback's fault for a win or a loss. You have to look at the big picture. One of the big pictures is, when it comes to Vic, now I'm not saying Vic is a great quarterback. I'm not
a great athlete. He's not a great quarterback.
Let me finish. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's an awesome player. I'm not saying he should be the starting quarterback for the Eagles forever and ever and ever. What I'm trying to say is, don't just blame him. Think of it this way. This guy has been hit more times than a bullseye in an archery match. Let me ask you something. Why are all these defensive players getting back there to him? Answer that question. It's not his fault he's constantly getting hit.
No.
Why are all these players getting back to him?
Our offensive line.
The offensive line needs to step up. I'm not saying that he's going to start winning every single game by like 4 or 5 touchdowns.
No, absolutely.
But at least give the boys some time to do something.
Yeah.
Number 2, at least Vic is mobile. You put Foles in there.
I think Foles has better accuracy, though, than Vic.
Right, but you put Foles in there with the offensive line that you have, do you really think he's going to do better under that much pressure?
No. I don't see it. Like I said, I think Donovan McNabb would be a viable backup for this. Why not at this point?
At this point, yeah.
Why not?
At this point, yeah. I don't understand why... I don't understand why everybody's so, put Foles in.
Put Foles in.
He had such a great preseason. That's exactly what it was. Preseason. He did not play a starting team. He did not play a starting lineup. He didn't even play a good team.
That's like talking about the other day I was talking to somebody.
It's like saying Ryan Leaf should be put in.
Don't bring that up. That's opening a whole jar of worms. Don't bring it up. I ran into somebody who watches the show at the gym. And they actually said this to me. Mm-hmm. Oh, Arizona. You know what the first thing... You would think Larry Fitzgerald would be the first thing they say. They say, oh, this is so funny. Neil Rackers. You guys got to watch out for him. Rackers.
Oh, yeah. That's
the
true.
Kicker? Are you serious?
That's very true.
I go, wait, the kicker? And he goes, yeah, he can kick like 63-yard bombs.
Okay.
Are you for real?
Good for him. Maybe he should play
Neil
soccer.
Rackers? Neil Rackers.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is,
I think it's funny.
The argument was dumb. He was arguing with me and he was telling me, giving me all these reasons. He's like, I have all these facts to back up Foles and
my God,
and you have nothing. And I was like, I have nothing because there's nothing to use.
Stop with
There's
Foles,
nothing to use. Buddy,
like the rest.
Look, I hate to bring you up on my TV show, but our TV show. But what I'm trying to say is, your argument was no better than mine, and I never argued that Vic was great and that Foles was bad. I argued that you shouldn't put in a rookie.
We got to go to break, but I just want to finish with one thing. People, stop complaining about Michael Vick and stop wanting Foles in. It's not going to happen, okay? Andy Reid's not going to do that. He's not an idiot. But apparently all of you are. And number 2, stop complaining about the refs.
I don't think all of you are.
It's not going to happen. All right,
to keep our viewers
saying, "Oh, the refs are bad." Oh, we already know this. We know the refs are bad. Well, what is complaining about going to do? If Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy have such a problem with it, go to your owner and say, "Hey, we have a problem with it." And then guess what? Maybe all the owners will talk and we'll get this thing done.
Like you said earlier, we have to go to break, but we'll be right back with predictions and producers' topics coming at you next.